here we are, day 2 of fishing the Thompson River. Fishing's pretty good today, eh?
Fishing's pretty good. You got your limit already, Chris?
Yes, and you have?
And Alyssa's got a couple fish, and I've got my limit.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to thank Federal Fisheries and all the people who work so hard to write letters, be persistent, you know, and sometimes we got to say that the squeaky wheel does get the grease. It's nice to have the jack fishery open. We have 3 generations here.
Actually, we have 4 because Gary's coming down.
And Gary's right there, so we actually have 4 generations fishing today. So 25, 55, 75, and 82.
76 and 85.
76, 85.
I think that's what it is.
Well, it's pretty good. Anyways, we want to land this jack.
Okay.
It's kind of nice to be able to get this fish in, and we'll have some good eats, all of us, from this fishery. So what a beautiful area, what a great spot to be and fish. What do you think, Alyssa?
Pretty lucky to live
Keep his head down in the water.
One thing we got to thank Dale Mickey there from Fishery Notions and,
yeah, that's exactly what I was sort of mentioning earlier, is that we want to thank Federal Fisheries for giving us this opportunity and showing us that, you know, First Nations and the recreational angler can work hand in hand, fish side by side on many days. Not that it's happening today, but we have done it in the past, and everybody has had a successful fishery, and people have got to harvest some fish to take home for their families.
Yeah, the chief of the Nickaman, Dean, the chief of the Nickaman band too was instrumental giving us the opportunity to harvest some fish.
Well, and that's right. I think that the Nicola band, they just had their elections, and I think Federal Fisheries, Dale Meekie was able to speak with them and see that that the chief gave us an opportunity and said yes, that the locals and the people wanting to recreate, not that it's an overfished fishery, gave us an opportunity to come out and fish. So we'd like to thank the chief. And
the Nickaman band, just for correction,
yeah,
not the
sorry, that's
Nickaman.
right. And I did mean that, I'm sorry, it was the Nickaman band.
Yeah, and there's Alyssa with another, her second jack. And it just shows how the fishing is being so good and how many are going by, Dean.
Well, there's, you know, I'm sure there's tens of thousands of jacks going by. You know, we have only intercepted 1 pink salmon and a couple of small chinooks that were, you know, not real major adults, but they were, you know, 60-centimeter fish.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful day here today too. And there's Gary. It's amazing that he can climb up and down that hill. And one thing, Gary has been fishing this since the 50s, you know, and he is so pleased and so thankful for the work that you, Dean Work, the president of the Fraser Valley Salmon Society. I mean, we started in 1984 and we got some great fishing for the recreational anglers, although we've gone back, but we're back, you know, working hard again, and we haven't given up. I mean, we can think of all our presidents we had, starting with Fred Helmer Jr., Fred Helmer Sr., Sandy Ritchie, Frank Kwok, and yourself, Dean Work, and
Pete Selmer.
And Pete Selmer. Yeah, Pete. I know we had a protest fishery way back in the 80s there, and we ended up, because of that, getting a meeting with Tom Sidden, the conservative federal minister in Vancouver, or we had the meeting in Abbotsford rather, and we made a really good presentation. And he asked Fred Fraser, the area manager at the time, how many fish are we talking about for these guys? And Fred says, oh, around 3,000 pieces. And Tom said, they're not fishing because they're only taking 3,000 fish. So, but
well, again, in that, you know, I just like to say that the recreational, the guiding public, the recreational public, it really only harvests less than probably 2% of the annual fish stocks. And the economics driven from that, I mean, you know, here we are staying here in Lytton, we're driving some economics, we were out for dinner again last night, shopped in the grocery store, and you know, for a very measly few fish for us to harvest to eat for our families, we are given an opportunity, and it is very important to us as Fraser Valley Salmon Society directors, and of course for our members and the whole entire recreational public, that we continue to battle to fight for our opportunity for fish, but never forgetting conservation comes first.
And I mean, I'm looking at Alyssa over here, the younger generation. We want them to be able to experience what I, Gary, and yourself have. I mean, we don't want to lose that opportunity. And you talked about the economics. Like, we went out for supper at Jade Springs here, and you know, I know you picked up the bill. I paid for coffee this morning, but what did we look at for money for the three of us there?
Well, you got to think about, you know, the gas money, you know, the money to stay overnight. You know, there's a lot of things that contribute here, and even though it's just us, it still gives some economic boom to this area in which they've lost the economic boom.
Well, very good.
Yeah, it's excellent. We want to get fishing. We do a little interview with Gary.
Yeah.
You got your Kristen too?
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness
Nice to
sake.
meet you. My name is Alyssa.
This is Alyssa.
Gary.
Give Gary a good hug, Alyssa.
I can barely get down. I can barely get down.
I hope I'm hearing not what I'm hearing.
Oh, that would have been a good blooper there. Gary, tell us how many years you... Gary.
I fished yesterday at the atmosphere hole like I told Chris for 2 hours. Usually get them right and left there, and I lost one in 2 hours.
How many years you been fishing?
See you making it down the hill.
Yes, how many years have you been fishing here?
And
How many years have you been fishing here?
here
Here, on the Thompson River.
on the Thompson.
How many years?
Oh, Dave Lapson took me up here in 1979 or 80, around 1980 or 82.
I thought they were in the 50s. I thought you said you were in the 50s. In 1950s you started fishing here.
Well, it could be when I married Donna in 92.
Not 92.
92 or 94. What was the...
No, well before not that. How many years were you married?
we were running... She passed away last year. We were running... Oh, gee, I get so mixed up.
Well, the good news is you're here fishing today, and you've probably fished here for 30 to 50 years already.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see you be out here.
Yeah.
You know, what a beautiful day to spend out here in September. And
I didn't come this far down. Chris showed me this hole. I usually fished up at the well. I don't really know.
Abbotsford hole.
And where the natives dip them sockeye in the summer or in the early year.
Yeah, but we're here today fishing because Gary was kind enough in the 70s to bring me here. You know, I knew nothing about it.
So it's all passed down through the generations.
Yeah.
And that again is, you know, it's today, and when Alyssa has kids, it's going to be the same thing. She'll be able to bring her kids here, and she wants to have the opportunity to feed those kids and just have an opportunity to recreate. I mean, here it is. Look at us. 4 generations of people hanging out today right here on a bunch of rocks in a beautiful part of the world.
And show us the hat you're wearing. I think it's a Fraser Valley Salmon Society hat.
Yeah,
Very appropriate.
I forget what
But it's because of the Fraser Valley Salmon Society we're fishing for 10 days. And I think we can look for good cooperation now between the recreational anglers and fisheries and ocean. Not that we haven't.
As well as you know, the First Nations bands in the area.
Yeah.
You know, like we said earlier, to have Nikomen, the chief of Nikomen, have an opportunity to say yes. You know, it's okay. Let the recreational anglers come and fish. That's pretty good. So we want to thank the Nikomen chief and the band for allowing us to fish on their traditional territory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I used to get the odd sockeye when they were dipping just above me, and I would think they were happy to take them. I'd take them over to them. I got very few, but I did get the odd one.
Yeah. Anyway, I know you want to get fishing, and I'm recording this. So we are at 9 minutes and 14 seconds. Anyway, those watching this video, we thank you and hope that one day you can get up on the Thompson River and enjoy one of the best areas in the world to fish.
It's a great river. I was telling Chris that I didn't stay long. I live at the lake.